I am selling every single one of my running shoes except for one pair. And today I'm going to make the case for why I think you should do the same thing as well. But first, I've got to drop off the next pair that I've sold, which is sadly my beloved SC Elite V3s. And when I say beloved, I've not run that much in them. So come and help me pack them up. Okay, so as I say, I've not ran a million miles in these shoes, and they've got plenty of freshness still in them for someone else to take. Yo, I'm just checking my previous self, because why am I so sleepy? Like, is it just me? Do I seem like really sleepy in this video? Okay, I'm not going to be as sleepy later because you're going to talk to this me. Don't worry about that too much. I'm organizing shoes and organizing the pair that I said that I would be not selling. So that's a spoil that you don't get to hear about until later in the video. So I'll see you then. But yeah, why do I seem like I'm about to for a few hundred kilometers comfortably? But of course, I do feel a twinge of sentimentality because I have run in these shoes and I use them in my training. But I think that it's even more amazing and usurps the sentimental feeling that I have if someone else is going to be able to feel sentimental about these shoes, which is really cool. I really love the way running is moving to facilitate a second-hand running shoe marketplace, and the number one impact on that being Joanna's Supwell app, which is much more of a US thing, but is still brilliant in its sentiment. I think it's perfect for runners to embrace so that we all get to try as many running shoes as possible for as cheap as possible and get to enjoy them as much as possible. Obviously, as we've entered this new age of running, there's thousands and thousands of running shoes out there. I think everyone wants to have a go, which is absolutely fair enough. You know, I want to try a lot of the new, latest, exciting running shoes. And so I think a second-hand running shoe marketplace like the Supwell app or eBay or Vinted is perfect because it does mean that we can all try running shoes for a fraction of the price. And so I think it's time for me to say goodbye to these now. Let's go and drop them off. Hello, I've changed my clothes, it's darker, and that's because I've been thinking all day about two sets of four things, which are the reasons that I wanted to get rid of all my running shoes, and then the four running shoes that I'm looking to build my new rotation with. There is also one pair of running shoes that from all of the ones I own that I'm keeping. Oh yeah, I cut my fingers cooking, so the four reasons, as I think I'm going to do some sort of creative thing here, that I wanted to get rid of my running shoes are as follows. First and foremost, I think that it's a great sustainable practice. I think that sustainability is really important. I think that the running shoe industry is obviously a manufacturing industry that does produce a lot of emissions. It can be quite a labor intensive industry, and I like to think that any way that I can sort of help that and remedy that, even in really minor ways, is a good one. The second reason is because I think that everyone should be able to try as many pairs of running shoes as possible, and if I can also be a part of that, even in a tiny way, because I can't afford many myself, then I'd love to be able to help with that. And so if that means sharing my running shoes if I am finished with them, even if they might not be done or finished themselves, is the best way to do that on a personal level, because I can't buy a million running shoes and give them out to all my friends. But what I can do, which is a mutually beneficial sort of win-win situation, is running a pair of running shoes for 250 kilometers, and their lifespan might be double that. So I think, okay, well, I'm kind of done with them. I didn't really enjoy them. They didn't really suit the purpose I needed for it. Then that's where selling them comes in. Number three is about cost effectiveness. So obviously running shoes are getting more and more expensive, and that means that they're really expensive for me to try. And so if I can buy a pair of running shoes secondhand, what an absolute dream. And so that means that buying running shoes new doesn't have to be this sort of deal scouring issue. And actually I can go on Vinted, eBay, Facebook Marketplace and find a pair of running shoes for a fraction of the price that I might have paid previously, which is great, right? And then reason four is because I want to build a new running shoe rotation. And as I mentioned, I'd love to have 4 pairs of running shoes in that rotation. Here are the kinds of shoes that I'd like to have, and here's the one shoe that I'm going to be keeping from all of the shoes that I currently own. So the 4 shoes that I'd like to have in my rotation are sort of your classic 4. So that starts with the Max Cushion long run shoe. This is the shoe that is the tough, hard workhorse shoe of the lot. It's the one that will be able to support me for the most miles. It's the shoe that I'll probably reach for on my super recovery days after intensive workouts too. This is normally a 40mm plus stack shoe. Think Puma Mag Max, think Brooks Glycerin Max, those kind of big chunky shoes. They're the ones that you're looking for there. Next is the Daily Trainer. It doesn't get simpler than that. It's just your classic daily trainer. Simple as, it's a tale of all this time. Daily trainers are becoming really versatile at the moment, so you can see them in all sorts of ways, but obviously think Puma Velocity Nitro 3, think Adidas SL2, think Nike Pegasus. There's so many daily trainers out there, and there's quite a lot that I've got my eye on, so that's sort of category that I'm really quite excited to pick from, to be honest. And for tempo shoes, there's your reveal. I know it might be surprising if you've ever watched my channel before, because my first impressions of these shoes was, I would say, lukewarm at best. But my tempo day shoe is going to be the Adidas Evo SL. Now, the interesting thing about this shoe is it's not plated in any sort of traditional sense. It's like your sort of really average. So it's like a full slab of foam. Now, that foam is racing foam. And when you wear these shoes, they do feel like the kind of racer fit shoes that you might come to expect from a carbon plated racer. But the rest of the shoe is a shoe that I've really changed my opinion on, and I'm really quite excited to do a full review on. After these shoes having sort of been in the stratosphere for close to 8 months now. So these are the only pair of shoes that I am keeping. They're going to be proving as my tempo day shoe. It lastly is the other sort of pillar of running shoes, and that is the carbon plated shoe. I don't need to give you any references, but Adios Pro 4, Vaporfly, Alpha Fly, Saucony Endorphin Pro, all the way. These are the poppiest, snappiest, most responsive running shoes that you'll find. For carbon plate involved, they'll have super foams, they'll be really popular, and they will sell like wildfire. And that's that. They're the 4 kind of shoes that I'm looking forward to build my rotation with. And I am looking to buy pre-owned or new for all of those shoes. And so it'd be interesting to see what I end up with in a few months' time as I sort of really get into the thick of building my base for my spring marathon, which I am yet to decide. So I will chat to you in a bit. That's all that I had to talk about today. And say hello to the only shoes that are left from my running shoe rotation. So yeah, great to chat to you. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.